Welcome to the morning update. I'm Erin Ramsey. The COVID-19 lockdown in Perth and surrounding areas will be eased tonight if there are no new cases. Public venues will reopen except nightclubs and casinos, and masks will still be compulsory in most public places. Premier Mark McGowan says venues will no longer be solely responsible for ensuring patrons check in.
Individuals will now also face penalties if they fail to scan in using either Safe WA or the contact register available.
Meanwhile, also in Perth, firefighters across Western Australia are now working together to control two bushfires northeast of Perth. A second, smaller fire has broken out overnight near the major fire, which is still out of control. Rick Curtis from Fire and Emergency Services says there's only a slight chance of any relief over the weekend.
We're hoping for some rain on Saturday with that progression of the tropical low coming south, but we're not banking on it.
The number of international arrivals allowed into Australia each week will be discussed by National Cabinet today. The intake was cut by 50% in January, and Prime Minister Scott Morrison wants the original levels restored by the middle of the month. Premiers will also be given an update on the rollout of vaccines, which will also be the focus of a public hearing in Canberra today.
The vaccine rollout is going to be one of the largest public health exercises in Australia's history and is crucial to Australia returning to some type of normality.
That's federal Liberal MP Trent Zimmerman. And gay conversion therapy has been banned in Victoria. Legislation has been passed by 27 votes to 9 after a marathon debate in Parliament. Anyone found guilty of trying to suppress or change another person's sexuality or gender identity now faces up to 10 years in jail or fines of almost $10,000. Anna Brown from Equality Australia has welcomed the result.
I think this is a world-leading piece of legislation. This is a really nuanced and thoughtful approach.
To sport, the Perth Scorchers will play the Sydney Sixers in tomorrow night's Big Bash League final at the SAG after beating Brisbane Heat in Canberra. Perth scored 1 for 189 in a rain-shortened match and kept Brisbane to 9 for 150. In tennis, Australian Open officials say the tournament will start on Monday despite the latest COVID-19 case in Melbourne. Ash Barty plays a lead-up match against American Shelby Rogers this morning. Serena Williams, Simona Halep and Naomi Osaka are also in action. And in league, there were 3 reasons the Dragons pulled out of talks to sign Israel Folau. It's understood the club didn't want a drawn-out war with the NRL. Folau had already been offered to Brisbane and the Gold Coast, and there were doubts about his defence. In entertainment news, the Screen Actors Guild Award nominations are out just a day after the Golden Globes noms. Bridgerton is up for Best Drama Ensemble, while star Reggie Jean Page is nominated for Male Actor. Nods are also for 2 Aussies, Kate Blanchett for Mrs. America and Nicole Kidman for The Undoing. The awards will air in the US on April 4. Neil Patrick Harris's husband, David Burtka, is recovering from a 7-hour spinal surgery. The actor posted a picture to Instagram of his spouse in a hospital bed with 2 thumbs up. He didn't give any details on what prompted the op. And filming on the 3rd Fantastic Beasts film has been suspended after a team member tested positive for coronavirus. The Harry Potter spin-off, which stars Eddie Redmayne and Jude Law, is being shot at Warner Brothers Studios in Hertfordshire. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.